The jungle moon of Klyros-V had earned a reputation across the outer colonies as a planet not to visit lightly. Massive predators roamed beneath the glowing canopy, and native flora emitted spores that made even seasoned colonists dizzy with hallucinations. Most settlers stayed near the cliffside settlements, relying on automated drones to monitor the dense forests. But for Commander Elias Thorne, staying away had never been part of the plan. He had been tasked with a routine check on an alien biologist's captive creature, a beast the locals referred to as a Korvath. Rumors painted it as a towering four-legged predator with serrated claws, scales tough enough to deflect blaster fire, and eyes that glowed red in the dark. A bioengineered hybrid of some pre-colonial experiment gone wrong. It was feared even by trained hunters. Elias stepped onto the observation deck of Lab Facility Sigma 9, his boots clicking against the steel grates. He had seen the beast only through surveillance feeds until now. The cameras had shown writhing shadows, gusts of spore-laden wind, and the occasional red glare that made even seasoned researchers flinch. "Commander, it's ready," said the lab assistant, a young woman named Lena Vecker, her voice trembling as she led him to the holding chamber. We just need you to, well, you know." Elias raised an eyebrow. "I'm here for the checkup, not the funeral." Lena shot him a nervous glance. "Just be careful. It doesn't respond well to strangers." The Korvath's enclosure was massive, with reinforced energy barriers, stasis fields, and a moat of plasma-charged water. Through the glass, Elias could make out the creature, bigger than a T-Rex from old Earth colonies, with mottled gray and blue scales. Its eyes fixed on him as he approached, pupils narrowing. A low, rumbling growl reverberated through the room. It was terrifying. "I've studied these animals for years," Lena whispered. "They're intelligent but stubborn. Dangerous. Never let it corner you." Elias didn't flinch. He had faced beasts far worse in his career. Still, something about the Korvath made the hair on the back of his neck rise. The reason Elias was called here was simple. The Korvath had recently become agitated. Research logs indicated repeated attempts to escape, damage to its habitat, and a sudden refusal to eat. Lena suspected the creature was stressed, but the lab's protocols demanded human intervention, a human touch, if possible. Elias glanced at the cleaning tank, filled with a phosphorescent solution designed to keep the Korvath's scales hydrated. "I'm assuming you want me to wash it?" Lena nodded, biting her lip. "We've tried automated cleaners. Fights is sensitive. Only a human can calm it down enough to maintain proper hygiene." Elias exhaled. "All right, show me." The chamber was evacuated. Only the Korvath, Elias, and Lena remained. Safety nets and restraints had been carefully tested, but they were only meant to keep him safe if things went wrong. Elias stepped closer. The beast shifted, muscles rippling beneath armored scales. It bared a mouth full of jagged teeth, drool forming along the edges. The growl intensified. Elias knelt slowly, hands open, careful not to make sudden movements. "Hey there," he said softly. "I'm not your enemy." The Korvath froze. Its nostrils flared, sensing the unfamiliar scent. Elias extended a gloved hand slowly toward the snout. The beast flinched, recoiling, but it didn't lunge. Lena whispered from behind the safety barrier. "Careful, it can smell fear." Elias ignored it. He was calm, steady, and deliberate. A human stillness often had a strange effect on alien creatures. Slowly, he sprayed a fine mist of the phosphorescent solution across the beast's neck. The Korvath flinched violently, spinning to face him, claws scraping the reinforced floor. Then Elias did something no one expected. He laughed. A low, hearty chuckle that echoed in the chamber. "What?" Lena started. Elias kept laughing. "You're mad at me, huh? Get it. You're stinky, big guy. But we're going to fix that, alright? Don't worry. You'll feel better." Korvath paused. Its head tilted, a small ripple of curiosity in its glowing red eyes. The rumble faded slightly, replaced by a hesitant whine. Elias reached for the brush, a large reinforced cleaning tool designed to withstand a Korvath's strength. Slowly, he began scrubbing the phosphorescent solution along its back. The beast stiffened, claws digging into the floor, ready to attack, but Elias maintained eye contact. Good see. Nothing bad." Minutes passed. The Korvath growled less, sniffing the brush, testing him. Elias adjusted his technique, brushing gently along the scales, talking softly. And then it happened. A low, rumbling sound began to emanate from deep in the Korvath's chest. Lena gasped. Is it purring?" she whispered. Elias froze. The Korvath's claws relaxed. The growl disappeared. Its massive head lowered slightly, eyes half-lidded in what could only be interpreted as contentment. "It's purring," Elias muttered, incredulous. "I've never seen anything like this." The Korvath, once the terror of the lab, allowed Elias to continue scrubbing every scale. It leaned into the brush, nudged him gently, and purred louder. Lena couldn't contain herself. I've never seen it behave like this with anyone." Elias laughed again, this time more freely. "You were just lonely, big guy. You needed someone who cared." Over the next hour, Elias transformed the Korvath from a snarling terror into a cooperative companion. He taught Lena how to approach it, how to brush and mist its scales, and even how to communicate subtle commands. The Korvath responded to humans in ways no automated system could replicate: trust, curiosity, and recognition. It was intelligent, so intelligent it seemed almost to enjoy the ritual. By the time the bath was complete, the Korvath's scales shimmered like liquid metal under the chamber lights. Its eyes, once full of menace, now glowed softly with what could only be called affection. Elias patted its head. "See, nothing to fear. You're beautiful, aren't you?" The Korvath leaned into the touch, making a satisfied rumble. Word spread quickly across Klyros-V. The human who had dared to bathe a Korvath was suddenly legendary among the researchers. Even visiting mercenaries came by just to watch the interaction, half in awe, half in disbelief. Lena approached Elias as he prepared to leave the chamber. You changed it. You didn't just wash it. You calmed it. You connected with it." Elias shrugged. "I just treated it like it was alive. Like it mattered." She smiled, shaking her head. "Most humans would have panicked or worse. You actually cared." Elias smirked. "Guess that's the HFY effect. Humanity, taking care of what others call terrifying." Weeks later, the Korvath was no longer a danger. It responded to commands, followed humans around the lab, and even allowed new researchers to interact under careful supervision. The rumor of a purring beast spread beyond the colony, becoming a tale of humanity's ability to connect, even with creatures others feared. Elias often returned to the lab, brushing the Korvath as part of his routine. He learned to read its moods, to anticipate its needs, and in the process, discovered something about himself. Humanity was strongest not in weapons or firepower, but in patience, empathy, and the courage to show care in a galaxy that often celebrated cruelty. One evening, as the twin suns of Klyros-V dipped below the horizon, Elias sat beside the Korvath. The massive beast lay curled, scales glimmering faintly in the dusk, and purred softly as Elias ran the brush along its back. "You're not terrifying anymore," he said quietly. "You're amazing." And in response, the Korvath nudged him gently, a gesture that was unmistakably affectionate. For a human and an alien beast, a bath had changed everything. It wasn't just hygiene, it was trust, friendship, and the reminder that even the most terrifying creatures could be reached with patience, courage, and care. And that was what made humanity remarkable.